I were to write a letter to my father as a kid, it would be in thick black ink that streamed down the paper, for it would be soaked with tears. It would be a loud letter, shouted over dinner tables and storming up staircases. It would be frustrating, pupating, angry birth moth. It would be flooded under doorways, and it would prick my empty eyes for open tears. If I were to write a letter to my father as a kid, it would be scrunched into a ball and thrown at his head as I run. But now, if I were to write a letter to my father today, it would be handwritten. Handed, written, past the way one gives a kiss, softly, but the other person in the pool of your mind. It would be in golden ink, and I'd have written it over years, curling carefully the cursive way he taught me to write. If I were to write a letter to my father today, we would meet eye to eye, without mouth smile, iris teacher to pupil. If I were to write a letter to my father today, I'd still probably cry, but I wouldn't remove the band-aid from those words. In fact, the letter would probably include words we had said already. All steady, not knowing his reaction to it, but knowing emotional stability had grown between us like two trees in a forest, leaning and birthing an orchid. If I were to write a letter to my father today, I would include the way his hand guides mine to write, and though I'd shake it eventually, you see, my father's handwriting is bad, but his intentions are good. The letter from his own father was only 18 years long. As such, he promised he would help write mine to my son. I would tell him, you succeeded in that endeavor, but never would I include my name, because he'd recognize the paper. We make it together, trading coping mechanisms with the nightmares. If I were to write a letter to my father today, I would shake off the sand from my shoes, pour each grain into his own hourglass to keep him around, because I need him, and I miss him. If I were to write a letter to my father, I would fold it into perfect origami, a physical manifestation of the beauty I hope he'd see in me. If I were to write a letter to my father tomorrow, I would include how the shoes he made me have helped me walk not without labor, but sturdily. I would tell him how I hear his voice in the people I love. I would tell him the conversation cocktail I enjoy is his signature blend. It would be a loud letter, laughing over dinner tables and sitting on staircases together. It would be watertight, for my soul would have been poured into it. If I were to write a letter to my father tomorrow, oh, Dad, if I could just write you a letter tomorrow, I'd only thank you for my today.